The first bolt split the Bogotá sky, and it wasn't white. It was neon green, like the city had been wired into something not meant for humans to see. It was the kind of summer evening in 1993 that starts ordinary. The last buses groaning uphill, vendors folding umbrellas, kids chasing a half-flat ball across a damp street. Then the air changed. Not colder, heavier. The clouds piled up over the mountains like dark stone, and the wind carried that metallic smell that makes you look up before you know why. In a small apartment near Tusaquillo, a teenage boy named Andres pressed his forehead to the window, counting the seconds between distant rumbles. His mother was behind him, turning the radio down, eyes narrowed at the glass as if she could read the weather like a warning label. The announcer's voice crackled. Tormenta electrica, manténganse en casa. Then the storm arrived in a single breath. The lights flickered. The first thunderclap hit so hard the building seemed to flinch. And that's when it happened again. Another strike, closer this time. Green, vivid, impossible. Not a trick of reflection. Not a firework. The bolt crawled through the clouds like glowing paint, branching, snapping, and for a heartbeat the whole city was tinted emerald. On the street below, a taxi driver slammed on his brakes. Pedestrians froze mid-step, faces lifted, mouths open. Someone screamed a prayer. Someone else laughed, but it came out thin and wrong. Andres heard the neighbors in the hallway, doors opening, feet shuffling, the shared instinct to witness something terrifying together. "Did you see that?" his mother whispered, and it sounded less like a question and more like disbelief trying to stand upright. A third bolt struck, so close Andres saw the afterimage burn into his eyes. Green again, neon, like a signal flare thrown from the sky. For a moment, the rain looked tinted, the wet rooftops glowed, and the trees in the park shivered under the light as if they recognized it. People would argue later. Maybe chemicals in the air, maybe unusual moisture, maybe tiny particles, copper, pollution, dust, turning the lightning's color into something the eye almost couldn't process. Meteorologists would shrug and say storms do strange things when pressure, heat, and altitude collide. But in that moment, nobody cared about explanations. Because the fourth bolt didn't just flash, it lingered. A green vein pulsing across the clouds, bright enough to turn every face on every balcony into a ghostly silhouette. Andres felt his heart hammer against his ribs, not from fear of being struck, but from the feeling that the sky had opened a door, and for one night only, Bogotá had seen what was on the other side. And then, just like that, the storm moved on. The bolts turned white again. The thunder softened into distance. The city exhaled. Years later, Andres would still swear the green wasn't just color. It was a message. The world is bigger than your routines, and sometimes it reveals itself in a single electric second. If that gave you chills, help this channel grow. Like, share, subscribe, and comment what you think caused the green lightning, or if you've ever seen something in the sky you still can't explain.